Hey everyone, this is Nicholas with Say.digital. In today's video, I'll show you how to make your form smarter using progressive fields in HubSpot. Alright, let's get started right away. So what I've opened up here is a standard HubSpot form that, for example, could be used on one of your landing pages for a download or to submit a request. And what we're asking the user for here is an email, the first name, country, region, and phone number. And there are two simple ways to make this form smarter. The first one is based on user input, and the second one is based on what we already know about a contact or user. So let's start with the first example, based on user input. So what we could do is, if I put in United States here as the country, what I'd like to see is another field showing up asking for the state, so we can further specify the location, right? So gather more relevant data based on user input. And the other one would be, let's assume I am already a contact, I've interacted with this company before. So once I put in my email, maybe what we don't want to ask for is the phone number again, because we already have this. And instead we ask for, what's your favorite ice cream, right? Just an example, but something that further is relevant to the customer, makes sense from a customer journey perspective. And we as a user then also know, all right, it's not just a generic form, but they've actually put in some thought in terms of, asking relevant questions. All right, let's hop into HubSpot to see how that's done. So let's navigate to marketing, lead capture, and then forms. And I've already created this dummy form here. So we'll open this up and hit edit form. And what you can see here is the email, first name, country, region, and phone number. So the four fields that we saw in the form earlier on. And what we said is we want to make this smarter in two ways. So we want to make it smarter based on user input, and also we want to improve it for existing contacts or users. And the first case that we said we want to do is when someone enters United States as country here, we wanted to ask for the state as well. So we'll now edit this field here. And then there's a tab called logic. And now you can see this name here called progressive field, which is exactly what we're working with now. So progressive fields is kind of the name of the feature that we're going to be using for both cases. And in this case, we want to leave this particular field, country, region, on the form, so there's no problem at all seeing this. So when a user enters United States, it remains there, and then another field should open that asks for the state. So now we would say if country is equal to United States, and in this case we're working with a single line, but you can always put together other questions, work with drop downs, all this kind of stuff, because here now you have to make sure that the country region actually is spelled like this, but it drives home the point of what we're trying to achieve. So we basically built this little logic here called if country is equal to United States, then show, and what we want to ask for now is state and region. Right, so we'll add this simple dependent field now, and you can see this here, that there are dependent fields linked to this. You can add more if that's required, but we'll see how this works in a second. And then the other bit is we said for the phone number, we actually don't want to ask existing customers for their phone number again. By the way, there's a rule not to make the email progressive, because you just want to make sure that the email, which is one of the key ways to interact with your customers, you want to make sure you always have the latest and most up-to-date data there. So don't make it progressive. If something changes or an existing contact changes from like a personal to a business email or so, just make sure that's captured here. But for the phone number, let's say we want to edit this now and not show it to existing contacts. So the logic here is then not to leave it on the form as we did for country and region, but we want to replace it with a queued progressive field. And the queued progressive fields are right here. And now obviously we get a warning that we don't have any progressive fields in that queue. So to solve that, we'll simply say done here. And then we can see all our existing properties here. We can also create new ones. But what we said is we want to have favorite ice cream as a replacement. So we'll simply search for favorite ice cream and we'll drag and drop this over. So now you can see we have one progressive field in the queue here called favorite ice cream flavor. And this is what's going to be replacing our phone number. We'll go to style and preview here real quick and test this. So what we said is if the phone number is known, then we want to replace this with our favorite ice cream flavor. And let's assume we have a contact, good old Jeffrey, that we'll select here. And for Jeffrey, we already have contact details such as phone number and all the other records in there. So how would Jeffrey see this form? And as you can see here, the phone number has been replaced with favorite ice cream flavor, right? So it works, the queue has worked, the phone number has been replaced. And what we can also do is we can update and publish this, and then we can preview the form in another tab just to drive home the point of what does this actually look like if we now input United States here. And as you can see, a new field pops up asking for state region. Now, obviously this has been a pretty simple example, but it's super powerful the more granular you get with your questions and the more you align them with your customer journey. And that's it. That's how you can use progressive fields to make your form smarter in HubSpot. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more helpful tutorials and tips on how to get the most out of your HubSpot portal. And also, don't miss out on our new exclusive guide with 7 powerful HubSpot hacks that help you optimize performance and increase productivity in your HubSpot portal. The download is free and you can find the link below this video.